Okay, I'm here to give you some help with the push loop. Yeah, I know it's not for everyone. It's a high-end move, but it is definitely within the capabilities of a lot of you guys out there. Just like the forward loop, but in reverse. There is a moment where you have to commit. Now that is the difficult thing with a forward. It's very hard to build up to it. You have to actually at one point let it go. It's the same with a push loop, but worse. Now I'm going to give you some tips to help guide you through that process. And it's actually the same technique as I used to learn my first push loops. So number one tip would be very powered up, if not overpowered. For me, the move becomes easier when you have lots of power in your sail. Stay with me. We've got to go through the other tips. Okay, so now the scary thing on the push loop is going over the top. This is where it gets scary. If you do the wrong thing, you can end up coming down on top of the sail. It can ruin your confidence and you might not ever try that move again. So what I'm going to aim to do is tell you the method I did and the one that will give you the most confidence, because you can build up to it. So instead of going over the top, we're going to go around the side, and this is very, very important. So the way I like to teach it, the way I learnt it, is you carve up into the wind as if you're going for a back loop. But unlike the back loop where you would stop the carve and then go up straight, with this, you're going to carry on the carve, press into the wave to get the pop and the lift, and then you're going to push your back foot through. Now, by pushing the back foot through, you create the board to do the rotation. Okay, so that is very, very important. Now, if you're to commit to this push loop now, there is a good chance you might do the wrong thing with your sail and you could end up under rotated. So what I suggest on your first attempts, and even after a while, to get your head in the game, is to let go with your backhand. Now this can only happen if you go around the side. So not a vertical rotation, a more sideways rotation. So you push the board through, and then as your sail starts to power up on the backhand where you would get this crazy whip and it would throw you around, that is when you let go with the backhand. But you have to keep hold with the front hand. The front hand can be closer to the mast. That helps the pivot point and helps the sail hinge open like a door. So if you hinge that sail open, you can land safely. Even though you're going to under rotate, you can land safely in the triangle. Now I call this the safety triangle. It's between the mast and your feet in the foot strap, so the board, and there is a gap of water like a triangle. You can land like this in that triangle. Now you can try this move really low. You can go off chop as long as you've got power, and you can get yourself in the rotation. So you can come up, you let go, you land in the rotation. You can even put your hand down to break the water surface tension. Yes, you can have a few lands on your back, your bum, but that safety, as long as you have your front hand on and your back feet are both in the straps, both have to be in the straps, that helps that triangle. Then you can start to build your confidence. You start to experience the rotation. And the more confident you get, the more height you can go. So go a bit faster. You can push off the wave a bit harder. The more powered up you are, you're going to get more lift. And the longer you hold on with your backhand as you go into the rotation, the more whip you're going to get. And you're going to slightly start to rotate more. And your brain, you can still land in this position in the safety triangle. And you go, hang on a minute, I'm pretty close now. And when you start to feel that, you have to get yourself together and you have to hold on a bit longer. And the more you hold on, and then you can let go, keeping your weight back, you will land that move. My very first one, I landed one-handed. I did exactly this technique. I went up, I let go, landed. Did this a few times. I held on a bit longer. And I come round, I thought, hang on, I nearly got that. I held on a bit longer, let go. And as it came round, I grabbed the boom again. I landed in the water, sailed away. Now, the push loops that you're looking at, these are my recreations of my first push loops. So I went out in Pozo when I was there a couple of months ago, and I recreated this just to show you guys at home what I'm talking about in that triangle. That's not how I do push loops now, but that is the basis for good push loops. And actually this sideways rotation is a very good basis for the tweaked push loops, which for me is the creme de la creme. That is the one that looks good. And if you slow it down, you'll be able to see and understand what I'm talking about with the tweet push loops. So I hope there's some good tips in there. I hope you guys are going to get confidence. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever tried any like this. Let me know if you try this technique and it works. If it doesn't work, let me know. But what you really don't want to do is go over the top. I actually did this. I got Alessio Stilrich, obviously top simmer rider, go over some, and he was going very vertical and taking his hand off. Now that, you can't do it this way. You have to go around the side. You have to pivot sideways so you can fall. He was going very vertical, and if you let go vertical, you can't push the rig out. You know, the push loop comes from pushing the rig out. This one is a more sideways rotation, a more sideways spin. So you have to do the more sideways spin. It means you can do it off lower level waves. You don't need big waves, but you do need a bit of wind. Anyway, like I said, let me know your progression. Let me know how you're getting on. I'm going to give you loads more tips on lots of different moves. We're even going to go a bit more low level as well. We're going to do some stall forwards. We're going to do a hell of a lot more. Let me know what moves you want to learn, and I'm going to bring them to you. If you do find these tips useful and you want to support the channel, maybe this helps you crack your first push loop, you want to buy us a beer, you want to help the channel out, it does make a big difference. Obviously, these are very niche videos. Some people will never want to learn to push loop, but if you are one of those guys that's benefited, maybe you want to support the channel, it definitely helps. I know a lot of people have done it, so a massive thanks for you guys, absolute legends. Thanks very much.